Alright, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. And I want to give a sincere shalom to the brothers out here sincerely pushing this truth. And today I just want to get into a quick topic because I was pretty much sitting here, uh, pretty much thinking how our people has turned out to be. How not only are they acting like niggas, but how they actually reject Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. And I was scrolling through the book and I came across Ezekiel, pretty much 37, pretty much talking about how the people are dry bones. And as I'm reading along with it, it's making sense with me because nowadays our people have dry bones. Hell, they always had dry bones as far as the 2/3, but even when we were asleep, as Lord willing, as the elect, that we were dry bones back then. And now we got the life in us. We got that young strong bones again. So I actually want to read into that actually, which is Ezekiel 37:1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out of the spirit of and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. Now I know this is probably going into a story that I haven't read yet, but I had to keep reading on it more. But is even stories that you may have never read before can lead up to now, and it starts resonating with you. But thinking about it, we've been set down at the valley, in the midst of the valley, which is full of bones, which is practically our people that's been going off for how long we can remember, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Now, waking up into this truth, you can feel you could, as you resonate with this truth, you can feel, even sometimes feel the presence of the Lord being right near you, leading you somewhere that you may not even imagine, just to open your eyes up to something that you may not have thought about before. Or you may be new coming to the truth and you just need a better understanding about it. And I'm going to keep reading. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. And again he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, and say unto them, alright, thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Now, any Christian would probably read this and just think it's just all my bones, how you just breathe life into bones, which wouldn't make any sense. But I ain't gonna question the Lord or how He does it, because if the Lord Yahweh Yahushua has the ability to do anything, but this is all parabolic. It has to be. It has to be parabolic because if people understood everything about this book, there would be no way for the have it elect. There would be no reason for the elect. But going into prophesying into these dry bones, you had to question, who are the dry bones? Because nobody just going to prophesy to bones that's just laying there. But once you figure out it's parabolic, and when you hear the words prophesy unto these dry bones, what are we out there doing now? We're out there prophesying to our people of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are the dry bones, because we gotta wake up the elect. So we doing the same thing as Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua told us to do back then. Because best believe that our people was going off back then, still doing the same thing. They was dry bones. And why? The Yahweh Shem Yahshua still had the elect. Same thing goes for today. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And pretty much going into the word sinews, I have the definition for it right here, which is a solid, resilient strength, which the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is our strength, but also going underneath it, it says the chief supporting force. And who's our chief supporting force in this truth? That would be the apostles of GMS, and of course for each camp that has a camp leader, the first, the second, and third in command, that is pretty much the chief supporting force, because that's how you gotta have the leader the role, because not everybody could just be just a camp and not have any type of order for as far as ranking wise, but yet just have the apostles that's just there, and everybody's just relying on the apostles, which is, it's fine at the sense, but at the same time it's off, because the ones, it shouldn't, everything you shouldn't, of course you get the teachers from the apostles and everything, but everything that's common sense shouldn't have to come from them. It should be coming from your superiors that's over you in your camp. The apostles shouldn't be having to tell you everything that you're supposed to do. That's more common sense, or something that you may be confused on. Something that you may be confused on, you gotta ask your camp leader, or the second and third, or if they may not know, then you could possibly ask the apostles, because they've been in this truth much longer. That would make more sense. But that's basically the sinews of pretty much building the body. So I'm gonna keep reading. It says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I promised, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. When I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them from above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And you had to question how were they slain? We've been slain how through generation, because we kept going off, or possibly when we was doing the truth, we died from different reasons that we've been slain from. But even now, when you're born, let's say the elect, Lord willing, the elect, and you're just one of these dry bones, that's technically being slain, because you're not knowing any better. So when you actually get this truth, you're being brought in the breath of the Lord. For he's the one who gives you that wakes you up to this truth. I'm gonna keep reading. So as I prophesied, as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And it tells you right there that hell, it's been the, how should I say? Basically, it's just what it is, because the Lord. That's how we got the truth, really, for getting that breath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And how did that breath come through? It's by by the apostles that have been teaching this thing, so on and so forth. That's the breath of the book of Yahweh Shem Shah resonating with other people that gets this truth. And I ain't talking about the the niggas that just want to join and then they fall out. I'm talking about the sincere brothers that's fully resonating with this truth, that actually feels it, that they actually have the feeling that, hey, I might as well be one of the elect, because it's a great thing to be one of the Lord's chosen. But these niggas, they want to be chosen for a rap career, which makes no sense. Which also goes into Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yahweh, I will also forget thy children. And that's going for these 2/3. Of course, the dropouts too, because they rejected the knowledge. They're not doing what they were supposed to do. Oh, it's even becoming a brother. They reject. They want to claim they're a brother, but they don't want to take on the ways of a brother. That's rejecting the knowledge itself. And that's a part of being the dry bones. Just because you wake up to the truth and think you're all this and that, and then you get kicked out, that is, you still was a dry bone when you came in, because you're not getting this full understanding of this truth. But that's pretty much it on my part. I just want to say shalom and death to this wicked society.